welcome to Need I Say More, episode 52. My name is Giuseppe. I am joined by my co-host with most, Terrance.
Yes, sir.
We are here. Unfortunately, we decided to give up on trying to make our anniversary episode technically because the world is against us, Terrance, because now one of the biggest snowstorms of all time is apparently about to blanket in literally, I think it starts in like 10 minutes, is going to obliterate the northeast, and we live in the northeast.
Yeah, there's talks of 2 to 20 inches. That's a wide range.
2 to 20. It could be
it's
mild.
It's such a wide range, right? Like, who the hell gives you 2 to 20?
It's definitely going to be at least 8 to 12. I'll tell you that much. Expect you where you live. Actually, you probably will get a little bit worse, but it's basically just going to be a foot. And I don't have anything to do this weekend. Well, I don't anymore. But I don't I started school Monday. I go in person, but I don't this weekend. So.
Oh no, I plan on hibernating in the crib this weekend.
Yeah, well, I mean, what else can you do? You know.
Yeah, really chill.
But Terrance, as a way to celebrate, 2 things are going to happen today. Well, 3 things are happening. 1, this might go on longer than it normally does. We're going to see how things play out. No guarantees. Number 2, we have our video on. Me and Terrance are looking into each other's eyes as we speak.
Proud moment.
Which is actually kind of cool. I feel like we're connecting more and our flow is going to be better. And number 3, Terrance is drinking. And now I have had these White Claws in my kitchen, not in the refrigerator, Terrance, for almost a year because I had some friends come over and back in May, and they left them here. And unfortunately, no one drinks in my apartment, at least not just in the apartment. So they're here now. We're going to find out
2% alcohol. Like it's just an enjoyable seltzer. That's how I feel. We're going to find
out right now, Terrance, if these have gone bad. Also, I don't even like seltzer, so I probably
not a seltzer. I love seltzer.
I don't. It tastes like nothing.
Shout out to Pellegrino, sponsor us.
Yeah, I'm sure they're listening. Terrance, what are the odds that this has gone bad? I don't see any dates on here, bro.
Well, you said May 2021.
Yeah, it's like 8 months.
January.
Ago.
Yeah.
8
You're
months.
fine. You're fine.
On the bottom, it doesn't have a date. It just has numbers that don't seem to relate. No, that's not a number.
Anything that looks like it's in sequence?
Yeah, no, there's no I don't see any 2021 or anything on there.
You're fine.
I'm just gonna ring it. I probably won't even enjoy it all. Black cherry, raspberry, or natural lime, Terrance. What hit me with? What am I starting with? Or probably finishing with?
I think
probably only one of me.
I think you should probably go with natural lime.
Natural lime.
Yeah, to start. Since you're not a seltzer person.
You know, it's weird. There's no ingredients in alcohol. Why don't they ever put ingredients on there? Like, what are they? Oh, here it is. Never mind. I'm trying it out, Terrance. I'm gonna try it out. I wish you look like you're enjoying a.
Well, I'm a classic man. So,
you seem like you're drinking a whiskey sour, which is my favorite drink.
Not a whiskey sour, but it's a J&B, which is basically a Douce and lemonade.
I can smell this, by the way, Terrance.
So that's my classic go-to, Douce and lemonade. Which if you don't know, you should know. Douce, Jay-Z, lemonade, Beyonce. Joe's having.
Man, you ever? Good thing you can see me. Oh my god, that genuinely hurt. Oh my god,
he can't handle a seltzer.
Terrance, have you ever go to swallow something? Pause. You ever go to drink and you go to swallow and like it just feels like it gets stuck almost? Has it ever happened to you? Every once in a while, like once a year, that'll happen.
Yeah,
it almost felt like
right there.
It's just liquid. Like right it almost felt like it was like nope, and like it wouldn't, and it genuinely hurts right now, Terrance. Oh man, that's an uncomfortable feeling. Sorry.
You're drinking seltzer and drinking champagne, man. You gotta know how to handle the bubbly. That's how it is.
You think that's what it is? It's the bubbly.
It's the bubbly. It's the bubbly, man. You gotta know how to handle the bubblies. You know, people don't know how to open champagne, which pissed me off, right? I hate
anytime I see someone do it with a sword or whatever, they break the bottle every time.
I hate to see that. I hate to see you pop the damn cork up in the air and everything and it's spilling all over the place. That's not cool. I'm maybe it's because I worked in the business, I worked in the nightlife industry where it's like you would open it and it hiss. So you enjoy the champagne and you enjoy the bubbles and the carbonation of it. Once all of once you shake it up and pop the cork and everything, it's no longer champagne.
No,
it's just wine now.
That's just for the moment of doing that.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever seen the people where they fucking slam it on a table and it fucking erupts like a volcano?
I hate that. Stop
that
being
looks cool.
Stop
I wouldn't want to be in the area of it, but
I'm gonna sound like that old guy. You could put a damn eye out. I
didn't say that. I just said, look, I don't want to be in the area. No,
that's
and be
me. That's me.
With,
you can put an eye out with that.
I mean, you can. Anytime I see someone, they do like the knife, or it's supposed to like chop it off or whatever. You ever see that with the sword?
Yeah.
They always, the whole fucking bottle, it's cracked in half. Anyway, Terrance,
gotcha.
I like to watch all sorts manner of things on YouTube. And I think a year ago, I got into just for a little bit watching like people falling and fails and stuff like that. Yeah. I recently got back into that.
I have a whole channel on my TV of that.
Fail Army?
I think that's what's
called. Fail Army. Yeah, they're pretty corporate at this point. But anyway, what I don't understand, let's say me and you, Terrance, we're walking down the street, right? We're just walking down the street. Let's say I were to trip, right? When I trip, I will, let's say I don't trip almost ever, but let's say I were to trip, I would like put my hands out, you use your hands to brace your fall. What I don't understand is how many people I see, they trip their head. First thing that falls, head to the ground. I'm like, since I've been maybe 7, that's not how I fall. My head is the last thing that I understand. If you fall off a building, something crazy. But
your natural reaction is going to be to brace yourself, except for the idiots that have a delayed reaction in life or whatever.
Dude, go watch some of these videos. Like, there's like a quarter of the people, they seem to, they face their heads the first. I'm like, I just don't understand how it works. Like my arms, everything my head will be the last thing to hit the ground. Everything important is in your head. Obviously your face, you don't want like scratches. Your brain, Terrance, your eyes, your ears, your nose, your mouth. You don't want any of those things getting damaged. So how when you fall, you're like, you just face plant. I don't understand these people.
Like, I'm just gonna tie my hands behind my back and fall or some shit. Like, it's just
weird. Like,
that's the way to go.
You know how like your body has a natural, like, let's say something goes near your eye, you automatically close your eye, right? It's just a natural reaction. The same thing should apply to when you fall. Like, you should put your hands out. So when people don't, I don't really know what to say. I'm like, well, I don't know.
Nothing to it.
Very strange. Very strange. Also, Terrance, you need to weigh in on a little, I don't know if it's debate, but I was listening to a show, another podcast, and they were talking about how someone wrote in and said that, long story short, the guy and his girlfriend were sharing a room or apartment with like one of their parents, like one set of their parents, and all 4 of them were using the same loofah.
That's nasty as fuck. I don't need to weigh in no shit. That's nasty.
Thank you. Because I was saying, listen, a loofah, okay, that should be a personal thing. If you want to share it with a significant other, fine. I think you probably shouldn't, because all you're doing is literally scrubbing dead skin off of your body. So I don't know if you should. But they were like, well, you're using soap and it's clean. And I'm like, do you really want to wash? Like, your mom's using it to wash your ass, and then you're gonna rub that shit on your neck.
Yeah, that shit is disgusting, bro. Like,
right?
I don't understand that.
That's what I was like. There's no debate here. That's gross, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, no, I don't want to share anything that goes near anyone's body.
You can't share rags. You can't share toothbrushes.
100%.
Yeah, like,
in a pinch, if you need your significant other.
Deodorant sometimes is on that list. I would say deodorant's on that list as well. Razors. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm the first one to use Corey shit, right? Because women just have some stuff to make your skin feel.
They do have that
amazing, and it's just like, where did this come from? And I want to feel this soft all the time. So, I'm gonna use whatever the hell this is.
I think every girlfriend I've ever been with, or even any woman I've ever been with, I've commented on their skin. Like, God, your skin is soft.
Your skin, right? Like, what the hell is? I go in.
How is their back soft?
I go in a right? When did you lotion this?
That's exactly what I've always been like. I don't understand how you get every part of it. Like, are you just dipping yourself in lotion and then just coming back out?
I don't understand. Corey has this thing in the shower,
Not Corey
right?
though.
Oh, Nicole. Thank you for reminding me. Nicole has this thing in the shower. That's a fucking lotion and soap at the same time.
That's weird shit, isn't it? It
It's
works, but it's
it's
weird.
Olay. It's Olay, so I know it's legit.
Olay, Olay.
And it's so I was using it, and then I started using a lot of it. And then one day she goes in the shower and she's like, I don't have. She was like, are you using
You didn't
my
use too much of
and
it.
I'm like, and I
Ah.
was like, I mean, I used it once or twice. Like,
I mean, well, I get
I,
once I accidentally
yeah, I don't know.
grabbed
Maybe it was the baby,
my man soap I was trying to grab, and I grabbed
I
woman
got the
shit.
Dove for men. It says it's for men. That's the one I'm using. But it was like after that, I was like, I just
She's
rubbed some
like,
cocoa butter on me, and I was like, skin is
half
soft.
the bottle's gone. It's
Skin
been
is
2
soft.
days.
That's it.
Oh man.
That's it.
No, you are right, man. Like, I think it's crazy that women will have like quite literally 15 to 20 things in the shower. I think that's insane. But I guess it works.
Bro, have you heard of rose water?
Maybe at one point, I don't. What is
Rose
that?
water is some shit that gives you some glow, man.
Here we go with the glow.
It gives you some glow, man. Like I wash my face and spritz some rose water on it. I felt like a bad bitch when I walked out the shower. Like,
you shouldn't be drinking. We're learning too much about you right now, Terrance. Just spritzing rose water.
Felt amazing when I came out.
Oh my god, what is it? Just like a what? Just like a lotion?
It's a
like
spritz. It's like
that's a spritz.
Spritz for your face. It's rose water, man.
Nicole is turning you, Terrance. I'll tell you that much. She's turning you.
She's turning me into a beautiful specimen. That's what it is. That's what
you do look nice, Terrance. Your skin is glowing. That's what it
is. Skin's glowing, man. Skin's glowing.
Let me ask you the question. What happens if Nicole or any girlfriend, I guess, let's say she gets a haircut and you see it, send you a picture, and you're like, ooh, what do you do?
It's tough, right?
Yeah, because you don't want to be like, I'm not really into it. But at the same time, do you lie? Do you just tell her you like it? You know what I mean? Like I had a girlfriend once who
Here's the thing. Our opinions are valued too much.
In the relationship?
When you're in a relationship.
Well, is it too much, or is it just, you're the most important thing in each other's
lives? That's true. That's true. Valid point. That's true.
Because what if she was like, oh, do you like it? And you were like, oh, not really. And she was like, I don't really care, actually. You'd be like,
that's true.
Well,
I mean, so, I don't know. Go ahead.
I mean, what do you do? Let's say Nicole comes.
Here's a picture. In my situation, I try to make the best of it because I just.
So you don't tell her.
I ease it in, and what I mean by easing it in
a fight 3 weeks later, I fucking hate your hair anyway.
I ease it in by, maybe letting a month go by and be like, you know what, babe, maybe you should change it up a little bit.
Yeah, the way you had it before was,
I
like that a lot.
Actually, I said that to her a couple of nights ago, whatever, because she had her hair blonde at once, and I was like, when you had your hair blonde, I liked her.
And she said what to that?
I like her.
And she turned over and was like,
no. She knows what I was talking about. Like, I feel like every time she did her hair a different color, it was a different version of her.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
How many times does she changed a lot?
Maybe like 3 or 4 times right now. Whatever,
since you started dating her?
Yeah. Since we've been together,
once a year.
Yeah. It's not a lot. Yeah. It's not a lot at all.
I do like that. Like when women will change their hair up a little bit. It is.
Yo, you don't feel like you with a new woman?
Yeah.
For a little bit, right? You get that feeling like
it's also like, just
no. What?
I don't know. It's like a cool like we can get away with that. If I'm changing my hair once a year, people will be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" You know what I mean? Like I came in blonde, you'd be like, "All right, turn the camera off." You know what I mean? Like it'd be weird. But what women do, it's like, of course, they look good.
I love it. I like it because I feel like it gives them a new feeling as well, as far as like, I got this different aura and vibe to me or whatever. She did the redhead, she did the jet black, So
what's your natural hair color?
It's like a brown black.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
How is the whole Nicole thing going on? She good? She having fun with it? She happy?
Nicole's loving it. She's getting pissed off at things that now say Corey.
Well,
because
unfair.
she's so into the Nicole world.
She gets
now.
mail. She's like, "Fuck this mail." Toss it in the shredder. It's like, babe, we need to pay the bill. I mean, it's not.
No. Unfortunately, you signed a lease in Corey. As Corey.
Can't really do anything about that quite now, but
it is what it is.
You want to know something I heard the other day about the new generation, Terrance? And we love talking about the kids, me and you.
Oh yeah, fuck them kids.
We're old as shit, so they are the kids now.
I love hating on these kids.
Do you want to know what these kids are doing now, dude? They don't even have each other's phone numbers anymore. It's just all on Snapchat, bro. They exclusively message each other on Snapchat. They don't even have half their friends' phone numbers.
I hate that.
What is happening in the world?
And
that's not how you do things. You're supposed to get like the base is the phone. You have to have the number there in case something happens to Snapchat or something. I don't know, but
I hate everything about that. Joe.
Me too, bro. This is a real thing. I've heard this on good authority that people like these young kids, that's what they do.
That's bullshit. And the thing about it is that, in a sense, do they really need the person's phone number? Like, yeah. I'm gonna throw them a little bell here.
Let's say, like, Terrance, Snapchat.
Do they actually really need it?
Snapchat has an issue for the day.
They can just go on Instagram.
But I'm saying, like, if you only have, let's say you only have one social media or something, or you're only really on there with what your main is Snapchat or Instagram. I mean, if you don't have, like, when something goes down, or more importantly, like, what if your account gets banned? Like someone reported you or something. Like you whatever you're talking about, the base level thing you have to have, not the external things, right? For instance, you have to have someone's phone number so that you have the base thing. So if anything goes down, something crazy happens, you still have the thing. You know what I mean? You shouldn't. I just don't know, man. If your phone gets wiped or something, I don't know. I guess that wouldn't really matter. But
I think these kids, I think these kids are just gonna have a way of interacting with each other. I mean, look,
they're
we're
not
already
going
talking
to
about Meta.
Dude.
Like there's gonna be a point where it's like they're not even gonna need phone numbers or Snapchat or anything. They're just gonna jump on to the Meta and it's just gonna be like meeting someone. You know what I mean? Like it's
we're the last people who are gonna be living in this world in the same way. Like they're gonna be like that fucking minority.
I'm going into the Meta though.
I'm not going.
Don't get me wrong.
No,
I'm going into the Meta.
I'm not going.
I'm going because I need to be. I need to know what's happening. I don't want to be.
Well, but see, that's where you go to not learn what's happening because it's all fake.
No. Here's the thing. I need to know what's happening as far as like technology, like how advanced we're becoming and we're getting to and everything like that. That's me. I like to be in the know when it comes to tech. I'm very much aware of the Matrix, though. Don't get me wrong.
What this is? What's the difference? Other than
that's the thing. I'm aware that it is the Matrix. I mean, I'm aware of that.
But you're willingly going and you like cipher.
I'm willing. Yeah, I'm willingly going in.
But let's say you went into the metaverse and you're fucking millionaire there. You're fucking doing whatever you want. It's still not real.
It's not real. It's like GTA. It's like GTA. Like it's literally like that. So why would I feel like I'm the shit? Only thing I did was, put a cheat code in and now I got an airplane and, $10 million. Like it's the Meta. It's not. Terrance, when I take this off, it don't exist.
You and I have been talking about this. We're moving further and further away from being humans. And dude, did you see the story of Elon Musk? They just started they're going to start human trials on his fucking chip.
Oh, his chip thing.
Bro, this isn't good, man. I'm telling you, we are going down a dark path as humans where we're not going to, I don't know, people talk about robots taking over. I think it's crazy, but it's like, it's not that crazy, man. Like the more we do this shit, we're creating a metaverse. We're now putting implants in people's heads. I mean, when are we going to cease just being humans? We're going to be part, cyborg type shit.
There's a way for us to advance without losing each other. I think we actually need to go backwards.
Yeah, we're past that point.
I think we need to go backwards actually and get to the point of, hey, take your phone away, sit down and interact.
Dude,
and talk.
Listen, that's the thing, man. I've gotten into fights with the last couple of girlfriends I've been with because people really don't realize this, how much they're really on their phones. Whenever I'm with a girl, dude, my fucking phone is like somewhere else. Like it's literally like, it'll be like on my desk and we're like on the other side of the room. Like anything that happens, it's probably not important. What's more important is me and you sitting here spending this actual time together. You know what I mean?
You know what the cool thing about it too And I love Nicole for this because one, she doesn't give a shit about technology. She doesn't care to be updated about it or anything like that. The most she does is make phone calls, send a text message, and play freaking kitchen video games on her phone.
What's funny is like phone calls and text messages are like dated at this point. Like those are older, apparently.
That is older, right?
She's on Instagram messaging people and calling people there.
Nope.
We're old,
Nope.
man. We're old.
But when we have dinner, and we've been doing this since like the first time we met. When we have dinner, our phones are away. It's literally just us chilling at the table, eating, maybe watching a show, but we're talking about the show. Yeah, we're interacting with each other.
That's fun. I hate, like, I understand everyone does this, but I hate, like, if I'm with anyone, friendship, me and you or one, whatever it is, I get that we're going to be on our phones at times, but I don't like sitting there while you're on your phone and I'm on mine for like a long period of time. I feel like, what's the point of us really?
Bro, anything longer than like 10 minutes is awkward.
Yeah, and but like people do that, awkward, man. And like, but I've gotten into like unintentionally gotten into fights with girls about this because I'm like, I want to hang out here with you. You've been on your phone. I'm not on my phone that much. Kind of are, you don't realize it, but you're sitting there for like 20, 30 minutes. Like we're watching a TV show, but she's on her phone and I'm sitting there like watching. And then I'm like, oh, it's crazy. And she'll be like, oh yeah. But she's like, not really. And she's only listening to it. You know what I'm saying? Like
she don't want to be there.
But it's not that she doesn't. It's that like people are so obsessed.
Yeah, but even if you did want to be
on their
here,
Instagram devices, apparently.
If you did want to be here, if you didn't want to enjoy this time, with me to get to know me, this moment or whatever, then the phone don't need to be here, right? It doesn't.
Hold on a second. I just thought of something. I know this is somewhat unrelated, but iPhone. What Apple's next big thing, they're going to do? It's not going to be called the iPhone. They're going to go, it's not a phone. That's old. What this is a new device, and they're going to be the first to come out with like something. They're going to come up with like the calm, or they're going to call it something else, and that's when we're going to get rid of the word phone.
Calm
or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't sound very cool. But what I'm saying is right now, Terrance, what about this is like a phone? You know what I mean? If you go back 20 years, people are like, I don't know what that is, but this isn't a phone. But someone is going to come along. It's going to be Apple. I'm just want to bet, and they're going to go. It's not a phone. These aren't
phones. Are old school now.
They're going to call.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, phone is played out. New. We're advancing. We're pushing it. It's no longer a phone.
This is your telecommunications. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to be called that, but they're going to call it something cool. Like, because does it have phone capabilities? Yes. Does it have about 1 billion other capabilities? Yes. So Apple is going to be like, because everyone wants to be different, right? Facebook's like, we're in the metaverse. Fucking Elon Musk and Tesla are like, fucking program brain into your brain. You're going to have microchips. Apple's going to be like, we got fucking boom, this new thing.
Nicole jumped in an Uber while she was in Dallas. I'm sorry, while she was in Austin, and it was a Tesla. And the first thing I asked her was, well, was it the automated one that
was in it, right?
Self-driving, And she was like, no, it was somebody was driving it though, but it was just so weird. It didn't feel like I was in a car.
It's quiet, right?
It is like she was like the tablet is so big and everything. Now I've never been inside of one, right? Like in person, but I've seen pictures, videos, shit like that, or whatever. She was like, no, it doesn't feel like you're in a car. Like
because there's no engine in it.
Yeah, you feel like it was something else. So I was like, I can only imagine what that feels like to be in a car, but being like, no, that's not a car. What I was just in, that was something else.
Imagine your car, but the front and the back of the trunk. You know what I mean? There's nothing in the front that is propelling it.
It's crazy.
Electricity is propelling it. So, I don't know, Terrance, we're on the cusp of a lot of things changing. I feel like in 10 years we're going to be in the meta, with implants in our heads, talking on our communication devices.
All I know is I was promised hoverboards by this time. And the closest I got is a goddamn one-wheel.
Nothing
machine.
Annoyed me more than calling those hoverboards.
Like I don't like. That's the only thing that I got right now. I was promised hoverboards.
Legally, they shouldn't have been able to call us hoverboards. I don't understand. Like, if we say, "Oh, we have new hover cars," what are they? It's just the Rav4. Not really a hover car, is it? It's more of just a car, isn't it? You shouldn't be legally allowed to call a hoverboard if it doesn't hover. How? Who's on that?
Yeah, they gotta cut the bullshit. Cut the bullshit.
Yeah, also PSA, because people apparently I'm the only person who knows this, Terrance. You can see me, right? Let's say someone's calling me Now, most phones are identical. There's on one side, there's like volume buttons. On the other side, there's like a power button.
Yeah.
You're aware of this, right? I'm sure. If someone is calling you and your ringer is going off, if you tap one of those buttons, it silences it. It does not affect the call. It just affects us hearing your stupid fucking ringtone.
Yeah, of course.
Well, the only times I hear someone go, "Oh yeah, I'll let it go to voicemail," and then it's just playing. Fucking silence it then if you're letting it go to voicemail. It's a PSA. Tap one of your buttons on the side. One, it does not send it to voicemail. If you do it twice, it will. Once, silences your phone, so I don't have to fucking hear it. You know,
people don't know what they can do with their phone though.
No, but so many people will be like, "Oh, well, no problem. I'll deal with it." Then silence it. That's they're looking at it like, no, silence it, bro.
There's a lot of features people don't know what's up.
Yeah, Google it if you're unsure. But Terrance, we've gone all. I know it's an extended show, but we cannot forget where we came from. Let's do our original, our patented, our last one before Black History Month, Black Excellence shout out of the week.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all.
Oh yeah, Black Excellence can't stop, won't stop, never stops. This week goes out to Mr. F. Gary Gray. Now,
okay.
There's a lot of people probably thinking like, who the hell is F. Gary Gray, right? And sometimes I give these shout outs and, people are, I expect you not to know, but that's the reason why we give these Black Excellence shout outs. But let me pause before I say what Mr. F. Gary Gray is about, what he's done and how he contributes, and bring you to the meaning of Black Excellence, right? I thought this would be, as we're going into Black History Month, for people to understand why we're doing Black Excellence and what it means, right? Now, when you Google it, Black Excellence, the meaning of it is Black Excellence means someone who is Black and portrays great qualities and abilities that make the Black community proud. And I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that's a very simplified way of saying like, hey, you represent us. We love what you're doing. Continue doing it. Continue being great. Right. Now, Mr. F. Gary Gray gets the shout out this week because, again, he's being great in showing Black excellence. Joe, Super Bowl's coming up. You know that, right?
I do, yeah. I don't really
Super Bowl's coming up.
I don't watch it anymore, but yeah.
So Super Bowl's coming up, and the Super Bowl has been famously known for having bad halftime shows for the last couple of years, right?
That's it.
Obviously, there's been some big ones that happen. Michael Jackson was a big one. The Weeknd was a big one. Which, by the way, ever since Jay-Z stepped in and has been on the board of that kind of entertainment side of the Super Bowl, they've gotten better, starting with The Weeknd. But normally they've had some pretty boring, halftime shows over the past couple of years, right? So guess who's on it this year, Joe? Do you know?
Is it Mr. Felix Gary Gray?
It is not. But who's on it is Mr. Eminem, aka Slim Shady.
Really?
Dr. Dre.
Oh, wait a minute.
Mary J. Blige, Snoop Dogg, and Kendrick Lamar.
Okay. Are we gonna Terrance, what is the odds that you think we're gonna get a Forgot About Dre song?
You're getting Forgot About Dre.
Think so?
Forgot About Dre.
I feel like people forgot about that song.
It's in LA. It's in LA. Which Dr. Dre is from. So you're gonna get that. You're gonna get a lot of cool things. But again, back to Mr. F. Gary Gray, he directed the halftime Super Bowl show trailer. All right. I haven't seen the whole thing. I've only seen a bit of it. But once I saw a bit of it, I was like, this is dope as fuck. Right. I was like, we gotta check this out.
Watch the whole thing.
I don't know if you want to.
Oh, Terrance, I had no idea it was a Pepsi halftime show. It wasn't obvious enough that Pepsi was sponsoring, and I couldn't tell.
You can tell they came to him and was like, hey, make sure you show us 80,000 times, you know.
Yeah, if it's not in every shot, then we're taking it out. So make sure it's in every shot.
but
Mary
I-
J.
but I-
Blige just like you ever listen like someone say like a color or something or a pattern's too loud? That's what she's doing right now. She's too loud in that thing. Too many. She has too much on her everywhere. I can't.
Mary J. Blige is the queen of hip hop. We have to
Is
respect
she?
her as such. She is the queen of hip hop. That is her
Is that a title she has? Does she have that
That is
title?
her title. That is her title.
I'm
Has
gonna hit
been
a Google
given to
search on
her.
that.
That has been given to her.
Queen of hip
Yeah,
hop.
queen of
Google
hip hop and R&B is Mary
It
J.
says
Blige.
Nicki Minaj, guy.
That is a bull. Fuck out of here. The hell with that.
Terrance, hit it right now. Hit a Google search on your screen.
No. You don't believe everything you hear on the internet. This is staple from the 90s. These new kids get on my goddamn. They changing Google searches and they're lying to themselves. Mary J. Blige is the queen of hip hop and R&B. That is and forever will. If you're from New York City and you know how the radio used to get when a Mary J. Blige song came out for years, it's crazy, right? We're not even gonna have this.
You can't call Nicki. Is Nicki Minaj even?
She hasn't even been around that long to get that title. You can't do that. Like she's been around for like 10, 12 years or some shit like that.
Oh, here we go.
That's not long enough.
I got a Wikipedia article about all the nicknames that people have. The Queen and everything. Aaliyah was apparently the princess of R&B.
R&B, yes, that is true.
What was Paula Abdul? She was just dancing queen. I don't know.
If Paula Abdul. Okay, yeah. Paula Abdul. Yeah.
Adele. What's Adele, Terrance?
I don't know Adele. What's Adele? I'm actually interested.
Queen of Soul. Is that her? Not like
that's yeah. They're bullshitting with that one.
Is she soul? Is that what she's saying?
She's
soul?
not. I don't think she's soul. That's Aretha. That's the queen of soul.
I thought Adele was more. I don't know, but soul. I feel like
I can't put her in soul category.
Terrance, hit me. Tell me if I'm wrong with this. Doesn't soul? It gotta be a black woman, right? I mean, come on, man. You can't. You can't. I mean, is that wrong to say?
No. That's not wrong at all. That's not wrong at all.
I mean, come on now.
It's really not.
There's a massive list. This goes, Jesus Christ. This
is before we get to that though, we got to finish Mr. F. Gary Gray, who gets our definitely shout out. He directed that trailer. If you haven't seen that trailer, go check it out. It's kind of looks like the Avengers of like rappers and
it kind of does. Yeah, it does.
You know, like it was like the Avengers coming together, right? Which was pretty dope. But then you look up F. Gary Gray, you know, who kind of got his starts as doing music videos. He got started doing music videos, and then he goes on to
a lot of directors have and still do, by the way.
You're like music videos.
Mm-hmm. Michael Bay, a lot.
Really, Michael Bay got to start his music videos.
He still does them. Paul Thomas Anderson does.
I don't know who that is.
He just did Licorice Pizza. He did like There Will Be Blood and Magnolia. He's a very talented director. 8 Oscar nominations. He directs music videos all the time. Like he directed like what band is that? It's not important, but a lot of directors come from music videos or still do music videos in between.
That's dope. But Gary Gray,
his first feature film, Terrance.
His first feature film was Friday.
I didn't watch that film.
Dope movie. And then he did Set It Off, which is another cult classic, black history classic.
I've seen
Set It Off. Jada Pinkett, Queen Latifah, in that movie, did an amazing job. The Negotiators on his
Negotiator.
List. The Italian Job, which was a cool movie with Mark
Be
Wahlberg.
Cool. I like Be Cool, to be fair.
Be Cool was enjoyable. Definitely enjoyable. Andre 3000 did a really good job in that as well.
The Rock was super early in that film.
Right. Law Abiding Citizen was a cool one.
It was fun. Yeah, it was fun.
That was a cool one. And then Straight Outta Compton.
Yes.
Which was really good. And last but not least, which he didn't kill Tyrese, but he should have. He did the Fast and Furious, the 8th one, which is the Fate of the Furious.
His last movie though after that was not very good though.
What'd you say?
The only problem with F. Gary Gray is his last film was Men in Black International, which was crap. Outside of that, those are all really good films.
That was a check. That was
definitely a check.
That was a check. I'll do it for the check. Yeah, I'll do it for the check for sure.
How do you feel about that naming convention?
F.
Gary Gray, like F. Scott Fitzgerald. Would you do that? Like T. Whatever your middle name is, Gathers.
Felix Gary Gray.
What's your middle name, Terrance?
My middle name?
Yeah.
It starts with an A.
I'm gonna make it up. I'm gonna say Armani. Would you go by T Armani Gathers? That sounds kind of cool, actually. Armani's too cool for you. Sorry. Let's go with.
I can rock with that.
Let's go with Aaron. So, what if your name? Would you go with
Me
T
and Nicole
Aaron?
change your names.
T. That'd be awesome. Suddenly, you're Armani and Nicole. Man, that'd be a twist. Would you ever go by T Aaron Gathers? Like if that was your middle name? Like F. Scott Fitzgerald type shit.
It just is extra.
It's weird. It's weird to make your first name your initial. No. What too much. Like, what do people call him on the reg? Hey, what's up, F? You know, like what's up, Gary?
No,
Gary
they have to say. You have to say the whole name.
FGG maybe.
F. Gary Gray. Like you have to when you announce him, you have to now announce him, and come to him as F. Gary Gray. Like you can't do it any other way.
What up, FGG?
You can't do it any other way. All right.
Anyway, Mr. F. Gary Gray, shout out to you.
Definitely.
Some good movies.
Shout out to you. But Joe, really quick though, as we're talking about Mr. F. Gary Gray and we're talking about Friday the movie, someone committed a crime. Joe, I was at work, I was at lunch, you know, and just having like a nice cool lunch or whatever with some coworkers, and I hear there's talk about Rush Hour, and I'm like, okay, Rush Hour,
sure. The movie or just like the
movie,
okay, yeah, it's excellent.
Here's some talk about Rush Hour, and I hear some people talking about it or whatever, and then I hear one person who says, "Oh yeah, I saw that. Isn't that the movie with Chris Rock?"
No, Terrance.
And everybody.
For a second there, I thought you were gonna go. Oh, they go. Oh, do you mean the show? I was gonna say that's
everyone
crazy.
At the table dropped what they had in their hand.
Terrance, I have to ask this question. Was the person who said this black?
They were not.
Oh,
they were
not racist, isn't
it? They were not.
It's just racist to say that, isn't it?
They were not. The guy goes, "Wasn't that Chris Rock?" And I watch everybody literally drop whatever they had in their hand and just look at the dude like, the fuck?
Did he? To keep telling the story, I'll ask after this.
It took me and another black guy, to be like, "Yo, no,
I'm gonna beat you up for saying that."
No,
because
it is Chris Tucker, and you should never do that again.
Did he just make it? Was it a slip of the tongue, or did he really think Chris Rock?
No. He kept saying, because no, Joe. Here's the thing, because after he did that, he goes, "No," as in defending it.
Yeah.
No, I saw him in another movie as well.
What did he say? Did you ask him what movie?
And we kept trying to ask him what movie it was. He couldn't get it out, but he was clearly wrong. So then I
wish he would have been like, yeah, that movie, Bad Company. No, not that's
no. And then we do this though. We go, did you ever see The Fifth Element? Right?
Because I loved Chris Rock in that film.
He's like, yeah. It was like, that's the same guy, right? He's like, no, that's not him or whatever. And it's like, yo, you know what? This is a mute argument right now. You're just fucking wrong, and you need to go to jail. You need to go to jail. All right.
Was this guy was he really young or no?
He's probably 28 years old.
That's too old. No, that's too old. If you like he was
27,
19
28
or something, I'd be like, well, maybe.
No. He's probably 27, 28 years old. No. You should know the difference between Chris Tucker and Chris Rock. Shout out to both Chris Tucker and Chris Rock.
Dude, is it time for Rush Hour 4?
Yeah.
Admittedly, Jackie Chan's like 70 years old. But
we can't let them go out how they did in Rush Hour 3.
I saw Rush Hour 3 only once in theaters back in 2007, and I remember liking it. But I know people are a little harder on that film, so I really need to.
I think I'm one of those folks that I kind of hold the Rush Hour series to a higher standard,
bro.
Than what I saw in Rush Hour 3.
I would love to rewatch all three of those films, man. Are they available anywhere?
It's on HBO Max.
Is it? No.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max.
Dude. Sorry, I'm talking away from the mic. Is it?
Yeah.
Because if so,
I put on the first
movie
one
marathon.
couple of weeks ago.
Little movie marathon then, bro, because that sounds great.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max for sure.
So that is some stupid shit that this guy said. And listen,
he deserves to go to jail.
Keep an eye on him. If he says some stupid shit, if he says anything else that can be a little racist, got to report him to HR, Terrance. Straight to HR. Can't play around.
And I mean, at this point, this segment, we're probably gonna keep because some of you deserve to go to fucking jail for the dumb shit that you say and do. All right, and it's now you're committing crimes. All right, and we're gonna address this. Okay, that's just what's gonna happen from now on. If no one else is gonna address these atrocities,
need I say more, Will?
Need I say more? Will bring it to the table and make sure that you get the credit for being an idiot. That's it.
That's a crazy thing. Is that Chris Rock? Like Chris Rock and Chris Tucker, like, are not really similar in terms of the way they are.
In no way.
You know what I mean? Like nothing.
Besides
like,
having
funny.
a first name that's the same, but
and they're funny, but like different funny. You know what I mean?
There's no one that's gonna be like, oh yeah, you saw that Chris Rock movie and confuse it with him. Chris Rock never worked with Jackie Chan. Like,
no, that's true. What if he was like, oh man, you know who I really used to love back in the day? I used to love I'm trying to think of another black guy. Like, what if he like, like I loved him. Wasn't he the one who said he got knocked the fuck out? No, man, we're back to Chris Tucker. You fucking idiots. And what Chris Tucker, man, he just doesn't even give a shit. He kind of did the whole Dave Chappelle and just disappeared. Took his money and was like, I'll just do what I want. Shit.
I think he was one of those guys that just couldn't deal with the Hollywood politics.
You know who Rick Moranis is, right? Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
That sounds familiar. Yeah.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. He was in like Ghostbusters. Yeah. He was a fairly big actor in the 80s and 90s, man. Like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. He was in Ghostbusters, Spaceballs. He's
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs is great. He was Darth Helmet. But he was a big actor at the time. And then his wife died in like the early 90s and he started taking care of his kids. And then like in 1995, he was like, I'm going to take a sabbatical, focus on my kids, and then I'll come back. And after a few years, he was like, I don't miss Hollywood. I don't miss the bullshit. I don't miss all that crap that you have to deal with in Hollywood. And he just never came back. He has, outside of a handful of voice things, he hasn't come back since 1995.
I mean, look,
it happens, man. If people don't want to deal with certain bullshit.
There's always going to be politics in anything you do. I think even down to the most entry level job, there's going to be politics that you got to deal with, right? At McDonald's, there probably is the politics before you can move on to the fries. Everything. So I could only imagine when it comes to like getting roles that you want to be in and like negotiating salaries and such. Like there's I can only imagine the politics that are involved.
All that shit, man. Like
that, you know what I mean?
Same thing with like talking about even like Dr. Dre and all that. They had to deal with bullshit too. Like it's all that type of shit. Get that high level.
First $1 billion deal with Apple. With Dr. Dre Beats? When they bought Beats.
What's crazy about Chris Tucker? He's making some good movies. In 2001, he did Rush Hour 2. The next thing he did was Rush Hour 3 in 2007. After that, he didn't pop in anything until Silver Linings Playbook.
Silver Lining.
By the way,
I still got to watch that. I still got to check that out.
Excellent movie. We got to figure out what Bradley Cooper's deal is, because Bradley Cooper seems to be in, like, he seems to be like. Let's think about Bradley Cooper for a quick second, right? Out of nowhere, Chris Tucker doesn't make movies at all. Pops in the Silver Linings Playbook, right? Out of nowhere, Dave Chappelle comes into A Star Is Born.
Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, what's up? I think Bradley Cooper on the DL is like one of the coolest motherfuckers ever. Because how is he getting
he's helping the dope black guys. That's what he's doing. Like, and I'm all here for it.
What I'm saying, it's not like if either one of them want to be in movies at any point, they could get into any role. They could get into roles. Not any role, but they can get a ton of roles.
Yeah, but you gotta fuck with the guy that was Limitless, right? Like,
Is that what it is, Limitless?
Yeah, like I
a movie.
Like when if they called me, it was like, you want to do a movie? Nah, I'm not really down to do it.
Bradley Cooper.
You could be in a movie with Bradley Cooper.
Rocket Raccoon.
Who's Bradley Cooper? Rocket Raccoon, the dude that took the pill and he opened up. That motherfucker. Yeah, I'm doing that.
Is Limitless a black community thing? I'm
doing that. Hell yeah.
By the way, this movie I just mentioned before, Licorice Pizza. It's this crazy movie. It takes place in 1973. Paul Thomas Anderson directed it. It's fantastic. But Bradley Cooper plays a small part, but is a fucking nut job. And he is brilliant, dude. Like, you should watch it for just his 10-minute role. There's a part, this isn't a spoiler, by the way, where it takes place in 73 and there's like a gas shortage at the time, different things. And there's a part where he's like a producer, so he's like somewhat famous, and he needs gas. And there's this massive line at the gas station. Everyone's trying to get gas. He walks over with like, the little gas pails you fill up, like if you
the little jugs.
There's a guy filling up his gas. He fucking hurls it at him, hits him in the face. He walks over and the guy's like, what are you doing? He takes the gas like pump out of his hand, and then he holds a lighter up to him and goes, make a move, man. Make a move. Like, just holding. Could you imagine how scary it would be if someone had a lighter and a gas pump in front of your face?
That means that you don't care about your life.
Yeah, you do anything that person wants, though. I mean, I'm not going to get lit on fire and just literally covered in fire. Just literally covered in liquid fire. Anyway, Terrance, we haven't talked about any major topics here as we knew we would, but we do have a topic we want to talk about.
All right. Well, before we get into this topic,
are you watching TV, by the way?
The game's on like in the background.
So that sounds how focused you are.
Yeah. And the Lakers are still losing.
I'm sure Westbrook is playing so well though.
Yo, the highlights that they're showing with this dude missing shots is just like he got a lot of heart, man, because I might have retired.
Who?
Westbrook. I might have retired.
He ain't gonna retire.
The ridiculous shots that he's taking and missing, like, and they have a highlight reel of like 5 minutes long of him doing this throughout the season.
He's the worst 3-point shooter in NBA history.
Yo, see, man, like
based off of whatever it's like. Attempts, but
what are you playing? Are you think you're gonna win a ring? Could you not?
Well, what's funny about
you gotta be real with yourself too,
see,
right?
This is how stubborn he is, right? Like, you look at like Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose doesn't shoot a lot of threes anymore, man. He knows he never really developed it, and it's not one
game.
Yeah, and he'll still shoot, but he shoots like maybe like 1 or 2 a game. That's fine, right? Yeah, Jimmy Butler's another great example. He excels at getting to the line, but never really was a great 3-point shooter. So again, he'll shoot 1 or 2 a game, but they both were smart enough to go, I can focus on getting in, getting to the line, passing, doing all that shit. Westbrook's like, nah, it doesn't matter that I'm the worst 3-point history. I'm going to keep fucking shooting them. You know what I mean? You'd think he'd be like, let me just, maybe 1 or 2 a game, but now he still shoots like 3-4 a game, just keeps going.
That's a mess.
You got to love the just raw stubbornness of an idiot like him. Yeah. This is why he never should have won MVP, because it went to his head. He was more effective when he was number 2.
Oh, that's what it took. Huh.
I believe, listen, when he played with Durant, everyone knew, including him,
it's Durant's team.
The best. He's the best player on the team. You're a great number 2. He's the best player. But then when Durant left and he won MVP, he now always thinks he's the best player. It doesn't matter who he's playing with, and that's why he just sucks.
Yeah, but that's an ego thing.
It is an ego thing. Yeah, but we all know.
No, it's an ego thing that when that guy leaves, I put it on my back and say, you know what, I got to get this done. Which, accountably so, he was the best player on the team at that time. But
let's not forget, Oladipo is on that team, and people forget that
he was better than Oladipo.
Yeah, he was, but Oladipo didn't do shit in that team, right? You know what happened? What happened the following season when he played for the Pacers, Terrance? Oladipo, all NBA third team, fucking 23 a game.
He was all-star that year, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was.
The next 2 seasons, why couldn't he do that with OKC? Domantas Sabonis started almost every game he played that same season with Westbrook. Dude averaged like 6 points and 3 rebounds. Goes to Indiana next season. Dude averages 12 and like 8, and now he's a fucking all-star. There's no reason for these things. It's not that they suddenly got good. Is that the OKC was completely built around his one idiot, and everyone sucked because they had to play around him. But they were actually great players.
Yeah. Good team.
Terrance, we were supposed to record, and then you were like, "Oh, I gotta push it an hour," even though we talked about this earlier.
I was late as usual.
Yeah, you were. This time you were over an hour late.
I was over an hour.
But you told me there's a reason.
No. It was a reason. It was a legit reason.
A real reason.
Here's the thing, Joe.
Hit me with it.
You ever had that moment as a man when you accomplish something? And it's like I put this together, right? And when I say this, is like when you build something or you install something, and it's like, yeah,
absolutely, 100%.
Right.
You look at it and you're like, that's me. I built that.
I just installed a new faucet in our kitchen.
That's manly shit right there.
That is some manly shit, right?
It's a little caveman thinking. I get it, but it is the way we are. It is the way we are.
It is, because I was thinking about it and I was like, damn, like I should, like, am I this happy about it? But I am though. Like I am.
I'm with you, dude. 100%.
I am. And here's the thing, right? So the super dropped off the faucet probably like 3 days ago. He's like,
he
come on Friday.
It's his job.
No. Listen to the story.
I'm sorry.
He dropped it off. He said, I'm gonna come back Friday. Because I gotta go to work obviously during the week. So he's like, I'm gonna come back Friday and put it in. So I was like, all right, cool. So this morning, I was working and then I had to go run some errands. So I jumped in the car and I'm driving. I see him outside putting salt on outside the property, because it's going to snow. So I'm like, hey,
I wonder how it is outside right now.
It started.
Yeah,
it started for sure. I gotta go outside and like put salt on the car.
Man,
but
I cannot believe how big this is.
I saw him outside, so I'm like, hey, I'm not home right now. I'll be back later. He's like, all right, cool. I'll see you at 3:00. Don't worry about it. All right, cool, no problem. I get home, walking in the door at 3 on the dot. I see a note on my door. It says, I came at 2:45. I'll be back Monday. I was like, what the Now, mind you, my kitchen faucet, it was like when you put it to stop running, it would slowly creep back open. So then you just got water running like all night
just constantly.
Or whatever. Yeah, just constantly. Like it's just running.
Do you pay for water?
No. I don't pay for water. Thank God.
Yeah, but also when you came home why don't you call him? Hey, I just got home. I must have just missed you. You didn't do that?
Nope. Literally looked at it and was like,
fuck this guy. Threw the thing on the ground.
I'm gonna do this myself. I looked at the note. I was like, it's 3:00.
What?
15 minutes or whatever. Because he said I would be back Monday, right? So I'm assuming he has other shit going on or whatever.
What needs to be fixed specifically?
Nothing needs to be fixed.
Or what needs to be replaced?
The kitchen faucet.
Well, hold on. The bottom pipe, or literally where you turn the knobs?
The thing that you turn the knobs has to be the kitchen faucet. I suppose it's
probably not that complicated, but I don't know, piping and all that stuff.
Joe, guess how long it took me? 30
1
minutes.
hour.
30 minutes.
Wait a minute. You said you got home at 3.
I got home at 3.
Me and you supposed to.
I was working. I was working.
Yeah, sure.
I was working. I had to finish working. But when I finished working, I was like, let me go install this shit or whatever before the show. It took me 30 minutes to do it.
It's not bad.
It took me 30 minutes. And then after that, I was like, yeah.
Let me guess. Yeah. You took a video and sent it to Nicole. You were like,
no, she actually called me. You know what I was doing while she called me?
Like, babe, I'm a little greasy right now.
I was underneath the sink with a fucking wrench, tightening bolts and nuts.
You were like, babe, I'm a FaceTime. She's like, no, we're going to FaceTime.
She hit me on the FaceTime and I was like, what do you want? She was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm installing our new goddamn kitchen faucet.
Terrance was feeling real 1987.
She looks at it. She's like, ooh, it's so nice and shiny. I was like, yeah. She was like, did they just do that? I was like, don't fucking insult me like that, babe. Don't do that.
Don't
did disrespect me like that. I just put in our new kitchen faucet.
Do you see these hands? These hands built that shit in there, babe.
Shit, man, it's fucking
Nicole,
ashy and dry as shit. Come here, let me rub on your booty so I could put scratch marks on it. That's how dry and crisp my hands are right now.
How much work I just put in, babe?
After finishing everything, but no, I had a real like, you know what? And here's the thing. So Nicole's dad, my future father-in-law, is he's a contractor.
Right.
So for his business, like he has a business where he is building people homes and apartment and stuff like that, right? So many people don't know this. I don't think I've ever told the story, but when we were moving in, there were some things that we were just looking like, oh, we're gonna get this, we're gonna get that, we're gonna put this on a wall and things like that or whatever. And every time we would pick something up, she was just like, well, I could just call my dad to do it.
You
were just call my dad to do it.
A little,
and it was like, it got to the point where I went on Amazon, and I was like, I'm gonna buy this drill, right? She was like, why are you buying a drill You know, my father has a drill. I said, listen.
Don't ask questions, okay?
Listen, I'm not about to be calling your father for everything that needs to be going down in this house. You know, I can get shit done too. She's like, well, I never seen you really be handy.
Bro.
That's because we don't live together.
Bro.
So you don't know that I have that side of me.
So listen, that's true. And on a real note, though, and I don't want to generalize anybody, there is something about women, and they do look down upon the fact if you can't do some shit like that, like fix parts of things. I swear to God, and women will never admit this. If you need to, and not everything, I'm not saying you need to fix everything, but if every little thing you got to call someone for, like they don't like that, man. Like you got to, like you have to be able to do some stuff, man. You know, like you have to be able to put like little things in my apartment, or like my one of my ex's apartment, like I would like one of her like cabinets come loose. I screw that shit back in. I knew how to do it. Like little things like that. If you can, I'm telling you, man, it's a big thing.
Listen, I'm not calling TaskRabbit. I'm not calling Handy App or whatever the case may be.
Or her dad.
Or your dad for things like, you know, like there was like something that needed to be hung up in the bathroom. I picked up
Finished
my drill.
The first can, bro.
Got out the drill. It's like, let me bust it open and knock this out. Now we have a beautiful what is it? Toilet paper holder sitting right on the wall.
Nice.
Beautiful.
See, the problem is if anything goes wrong with that faucet that you installed.
Oh no. I'm gonna hear it.
You're gonna get a wrench and bash it in. Is what you're.
But here's the thing. I'm ready for that, Joe. I'm prepared.
You take
for that because you know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get right under that bitch, and I'm gonna tighten it a little bit more.
Babe, hold on a second. You're like going underneath. She's like, I don't think
it's fine. It's fine. Listen, there's no situation that cannot be solved with just a little bit of tightening.
Just a wrench on a bolt.
Just a little bit straightening. That's it. Ain't nothing but a little bit of straightening. That's all it needs.
It is sad, man. We like all human beings, regardless of what you want to say or not, we do have these weird, like, kind of cave person things about us where we do like
barbaric,
like, and maybe it is a straight thing, admittedly, but there are things about like I think maybe we talk about this. When you're straight, I feel like there's a thing you tend to really are attracted to things, and even if you don't realize this, the things that are different from you. Like you probably like a lot of things about your girl that are different from you, and vice versa. And like she probably doesn't do a lot of shit with her hands like that, but the fact that you can do that is probably like a turn off for her. You know, you fix a fucking pipe.
And then plus, it's not something that's common, right? Like when you meet someone and you know them for what you meet them as. When they start to show a different version of themselves, like it's that mystique, you know, it's that, oh shit, I didn't even know you could do that. I didn't know you had that in you. You know what I mean? Like I love seeing that, you know, like she's on a different venture right now, you know, with her new role and everything in work. I love what she's doing right now because it's like, oh shit, like I always knew you were smart, but like what they got you doing now and you're performing at a high level at it, this shit is attractive.
Yeah,
like you know, naturally, you know,
I do understand when people say like power can be sexy. I never understood like the uniform thing though, like how a lot of women really are like think cops and firefighters are hot, and I'm like,
oh my god,
I don't understand that. Like just the uniform.
I love it.
You think cops are hot? Like women?
I think women in uniforms are.
No, I don't get that, man. I don't. Especially when I see a cop, I'm like, I see a female cop. I see a female cop. She might be hot, but I'm like, she could beat the shit out of me. That's not hot to me. You know, she could totally work me.
The female cop pants.
Yeah, but that's just tight pants, Terrance. I see tight pants everywhere. What are you talking? I see
any day of the week. About those pants. There's something about those pants.
I had to walk. Today I had to go to the pharmacy right before because it was going to snow. I'm like, I got to get some prescriptions. And in between there and here, so there was right outside the CVS, there's some banquet hall, and there was some cop gathering. There was like there must have been 150 cops, and they were dressed. They were just dressed in uniform. They were dressed in their like dress uniform. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I saw a lot of TNA in that time, Terrance. But then also as I was walking to and from, I saw random women with with tight pants. It's whatever, man. I don't understand the uniform thing personally. Not that uniform. I'm talking like a nurse uniform. I mean, that's a whole different story.
Corey's walking around in scrubs now, and it's like about to attack her and that shit.
What is she? Well, let's not talk about that. She wears scrubs though. Interesting. Scrubs can be. Does she use the generic one? Does she use those ones you see the ads for? That fucking new brand.
What's the? Oh no. Generic. I think it's generic.
Yeah, because there's some brand about it. I'm like, they look like normal scrubs. I don't know what you're
Yeah,
advertising.
so
Terrance, before the show, we were talking about. It's got two topics actually in one. You were talking about how crazy it is that we walk through life, and what we have to do is we have to rely on other people, right? Like for instance, let's say you're driving, you have to assume that everyone around you have to trust that they're not crazy or stupid,
yeah,
and that they're not going to crash into you or fucking blow, whatever it is,
like
whether you're
blind
walking,
trust.
yeah.
Blind trust. Yeah.
And I was saying, which is definitely true. And I was saying it is unfortunate we have to do that, but also I feel like as human beings, we all kind of walk around and we kind of think in this weird way that we're kind of immortal, right? Like you always think like a car is not going to run off a thing and crash into the sidewalk and kill me. That happens. I see that on the news, but it won't happen to me. You know what I mean? Same thing with all these crazy things until something does happen. It's a weird thing. You know what I mean? Like we kind of, I think it definitely is when you're younger, it's worse. Like when you're fucking like 15, you're like, I'll live forever.
Yeah, you're not thinking about it, when you
I think as you get older, you start to realize how.
And for me, I know I've hit that moment in my life, or at least I'm at that age now where I'm more kind of just conscious of like things that are happening around me,
Right.
So I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm nervous, but I'm aware that
how quickly it can happen.
Like when I'm crossing the street, like I want to make sure those cars stopped. Like I'm looking at the driver through the windshield. I want to make sure they're paying attention.
Because part of this got brought up because we were talking about Aaron Baines, and for those of you who listen to the backcourt, and obviously earlier you just heard us talking about basketball. The thing, Aaron Baines, basketball player, played for the Spurs and a few other teams. There's this crazy story on ESPN. Feel free to look it up. About how he had some weird thing where his hands were slippery. He went to dunk. This happened in the Olympics a few months ago. And his hand slipped and he came down kind of weird. And he kind of got hurt, but he was fine. And the doctors looked at him and no one thought anything was wrong. Next thing you know, he's in the hospital. There's a problem with his spine. He had to learn to re-walk. And he was literally learning like his motor skills, like stacking cups and shit.
Sad freak
this
accident.
Dude's and he's apparently now doing well, but it was a rough like 6 months for him where he really had to relearn like walking and motor function. And this dude's a prime athlete. This isn't some dude on the street. This guy was playing in the fucking Olympics. The Olympics are literally where the greatest athletes of the planet come together. So that's how it got brought up. Like at any point, Terrance, you and I could be walking on the street and some car could hit a fire hydrant and flip onto us. And that's the end of our lives.
Literally think about it, right? We're both living in, apartments and buildings. We have to trust that this shit was built correctly.
Yeah.
Built to sustain,
trust that the neighbors aren't going to light the fucking house on fire or not even on purposely to just do something stupid.
Right. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, the sad tragedy that happened in the Bronx.
The Bronx fire.
In the Bronx fire.
Bro, my super came by and literally. So one of the problems with the Bronx fire is that I think this is the story. Apparently, for whatever reason, it was
Space
warmer.
heater.
It was warmer in the hallways than it was in the actual apartments. And so a lot of people were doing is they were leaving their doors open to get some of the heat in. So I don't know if you know this, but apparently, obviously you live in Brooklyn for your whole life.
Yeah.
Your doors have to automatically close. Have you ever had a super come and like make sure that door on your front door automatically closes?
Yeah. It has like a spring thing or something.
Yeah. I always wonder what that was. I was like, is that like a security thing? They don't want people getting robbed. Apparently it's because these doors are built to prevent, like to contain fires in some capacity. Obviously it wouldn't last forever. But the reason is like, if there's a fire in your apartment, that door should prevent it from spreading until the fire department comes, so the whole building doesn't go up. So that's why it has to shut. And apparently people are propping their doors open. And that was one of the reasons that the smoke spread. And most people apparently died from like smoke related injuries.
Yeah.
So my super literally came by and like had to sign something. He had to make sure the door was good, make sure the fire detectors were good. And he wanted to make sure like, and they put a little notice in the back of my door that says all like, that fire is having reverberations throughout the whole city. You know what I mean? Like everyone's like, you got to make sure we're not doing crazy.
Yeah.
I told you on this show, let's not forget, less than a year ago, there's a fire in my building. Remember, I told you about that.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
It was only a floor below me, but like there's a fire in that guy's apartment. And the fire department came and had to smash a window and it was a whole thing.
The yeah, so definitely wishing well for the families of that or whatever. Shout out to Cardi B as well, who offered to pay for the funerals of the people that passed in that fire. She's a native hometown Bronx girl. So shout out to her for doing that as well. But back to the point of what we were saying, as far as like the trust, right? Like we go throughout life every day not realizing that we're literally trusting strangers.
100%.
Like cars, planes, trains, whatever it may be, even down to the simple fact of fast food.
Yeah, you gotta trust that they're not poisoning you accidentally.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
it's not even purposely with a lot of these things. You have to hope that they are cooking your food with no cross contamination. They're not undercooking something. They're not. They accidentally knocked the fucking.
Just because you told the chef that you're allergic to seafood doesn't mean that that you have to trust that they don't put seafood in your shit now.
Dude, anytime you watch, if you show like Kitchen Nightmares, they always go through people's kitchens and it's like, they're putting shit all over. And you're supposed to separate this shit, man. People have an allergy. Like,
yeah, I love Gordon Ramsay, man.
The Kitchen Nightmare isn't on anymore, but I watched that whole show, man. I fucking love Kitchen Nightmares.
I love the way he barking at people and getting in their face and everything.
What's so funny? This Kitchen Nightmares started off in the UK. Stupid. And if you watch the UK version,
you're a fucking idiot.
If you watch the UK version, Gordon Ramsay is like kind of mean, but like subtly. Like I watched an episode and he was like talking to these guys who in the kitchen. The guy was like kept flipping the food. At one point, he was like, "If you don't stop flipping that food, I'm gonna knock you out." And it was like whatever. And then he comes to America and they tell him to be crazy. And so he like kicks in a door in Indiana and it's like, this is
absolutely
fucking... like obviously it's because it's American audiences, but. I love Gordon Ramsay. I love that show. But you are right, man. Like we have to, unfortunately, put, otherwise we live in constant fear.
When you
our trust in just everyone, man.
When you think about that, Joe, right? Now think about the idiots that are racist.
Oh God.
Now, literally, when you think about that, right? It's like you go throughout your life every single day, every minute, having to blindly trust someone, and then you choose to hate people. Like that thought process is just like ridiculous to me when I thought about that. Like, and I be having random moments when I'm like in a car just driving, like just
the shower for me. I'm just sitting there staring at the wall.
Yeah, just kind of going through shit or whatever, random thoughts in my head and everything like that. And I was just thinking about that. I was like, okay, well, if that's the thought process and I have to blindly trust people or whatever on a day-to-day, why would I choose to hate anyone?
Yeah, because you don't want to hate on people and then next thing you know they crash the car into you or something crazy,
right? You know what I mean? Like that.
The thing with racism is a lot of it is just it's a product of your environment type shit, right? Like you're just surrounded by people who for whatever reason they're racist and then they spread it to their fucking kids and shit, and then it's just you grow up thinking this crazy way.
It does happen, but it's also it's two things. It's product of your environment, but it's also the ability to not want to understand the other side of things, right?
Absolutely. And dude, that is the defining quality of this generation is not wanting to hear your side. Yelling your side, closing your ears to the other side.
And I had a great mentor. Shout out to Greg Costa, who, and I would never forget these words. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I had a great mentor, Greg Costa. You remember Greg? He helped us get the spot,
Get the spot for final stage,
great mentor. And I never forget these words because he always gave it to me. He always said it to me. And it took me years to understand it, but he was always like, it's either you don't know or you don't care. Right. And that's
I agree with that.
To me, that's always been the thing, right? So even if you say like, product in your environment, it's like, like, okay, now you're in a part of you don't know, right? Product in your environment. But when you refuse to understand, that's the you don't care. Right. So when you fall into both of those boats, you're done. Yeah.
Like, you know what it is, man? It's unfortunate because you are right. Part of it is if you grow up a certain way, I mean, it's hard to really, what can you do? If your whole family is saying one thing, you just kind of assume that's just the way it is, right? But then when you get to a certain age, the problem is so many people there's so many parts of this country, especially in the middle of the country, not to call anyone out, but especially the South and the middle of the country.
South, mid, yeah.
There's no, you don't ever see a lot of these races. So you never even really get to like learn what that side is. You know what I mean? Like you could be in your fucking 20s, 30s, and you've never even really had a friendship with other people who aren't white. You know what I mean? So you get this, you get stuck in this way.
That's scary to me.
I wouldn't,
like, that sounds scary to me. If I was only around black people, yeah, I would think white people are the devil.
Yeah.
Like that would be true. To be like, whoa, you're different.
Dude, we talk about this a bunch of times. This is the thing I love about New York City, you know, and obviously I think any decently sized cities like this, but New York City, man, is like obviously famous for literally, I think there's like 180 different countries or something like that are in this city, you know, like people from this countries. I love that. Yeah, it's the big melting pot in the world. And I love that about this city, man. Like that's why, like, I know for a fact, especially after coming back from Florida last month, man, like whether or not I stay in New York City as I get older, who knows? I'm never not going to live in a city though, or at least right next to one. I can't go and just, let me move to, you know, the middle of fucking Illinois. No, man.
You got to be like a metropolitan area.
Yeah. Like if I live near maybe Chicago, like, I live there. I liked Portland. These places are one thing, but I got to live near a city and I need that. Like I liked Portland. I think I told you, me and one of my exes moved to Portland and it was great, but there wasn't a lot of diversity in what we saw. And it was a great city. I didn't know nothing bad happened, but I was like, not a whole lot of different people here. And so that kind of sucks, you know, like I do crave diversity, man. Like in the last decade, every time I go somewhere and I don't see that, I get annoyed by that and it bothers me and I feel uncomfortable. You know, Florida was just like that, man. It's just everyone with the same view.
Yeah, I couldn't be around the same. I just
even just the same viewpoints, even if
only because I just would like to learn new things. I like being able to say, you know, oh, okay, you know, well, I didn't know about this or whatever. Just literally, I think it was this morning, you know, I was hearing a story about the Holocaust, you know. Now I have my own thoughts on Jewish people, and not all of them are the same, but some of them are assholes. Like that's just my thought or whatever on it. But I'm one of those people, like, again, like I want to be understanding to things that people went through and culturally in as well, you know, like I want to be understanding. And just because like I have a small percentage of interactions that I've had with, you know, some people that are Jewish, I don't look at all Jewish people and be like, you're a dick.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's not my thought process. It's just
that's the thing about any group of people, whether it's a race or whether it's all cops or all deli clerks, whatever it is. Like anytime you look at them and go, well, all of them are one thing, you know you're wrong. Doesn't matter who it is, because that's just not the way the world works, man. Like it doesn't matter if like for instance, Terrance, me and you worked at Toys R Us in Times Square. We dealt with a lot of tourists, and one of the biggest tourists we get were Brazilians. And the crazy thing about Brazilians, and this is like a running joke. And I
shout out to the Brazilians though, but we've had my stories with
Brazilians for whatever reason. I swear to God, it felt like there were more Brazilians than any other tourists. Maybe that's true, maybe it wasn't. But the thing about them is, and I've talked to people who work at Toys R Us, and they agree with me about this. It seems like all Brazilian people have there's one mother and one father, and every person in Brazil has the same parents. They all have such similar looks and styles and the way they
mannerisms
talk. Mannerisms. And it's crazy.
It's so robotic.
It is. There's something about that, bro. But at the same time, I know for a fact that that's not really true. It's just what we've experienced. But the reality is, dude, there's probably a million fucking Brazilians who are like not even close to that. You know what I mean? That's why like you can never, that's why like anytime someone says, oh, I hate cop, hate this, it's like, you can't do that. You got to judge people by who they are. Like we talked about last week, I'm an equal opportunity asshole. I treat people by who they are, nothing else, man. I don't care what you are. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole. If you're great, you're great. Anything in between. But yeah, man, I don't know what to say. Let's go back to a little bit of a lighter topic, Terrance. Let me ask you a question. Do mom jokes actually bother you? Like that's a very common thing. Mom jokes.
Said mom jokes?
Yeah, like if someone's like, "Oh, your mom is so fat," blah blah. Do you actually think about your own?
I thought you meant like mom jokes, like dad jokes, like corny jokes.
No. Dad jokes are corny.
I didn't know
ass
the
jokes.
mom jokes.
Mom jokes are like your mom is so fat, whatever it is. But my question is like,
about my mother.
But my question is, does that actually in real life? If someone said that to you at a bar, would you actually go, "I fucking love my mother"? Or would you go, "This guy's just saying bullshit"?
At this age, no. At this age and where I am in life, no.
Also, they don't know your mom,
right?
Know what I mean,
like
it's a stranger.
It's different. If you actually know my mother, then yeah, we got beat.
But it's kind of like with anything. If anyone says something about, like, if someone was like making fun of me and they're like, "Oh, but your fucking girlfriend," it's like, well, this person doesn't know anything about my life, so they could say whatever. I'm like, you don't really have a clue, like I don't really care. Like I wouldn't. All of that is they're trying to insult me. That's all I hear is they're just trying to be an asshole. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. But I'm not gonna entertain that. I've hit the point where I don't really want to entertain bullshit. And not only do I not want to entertain bullshit.
That's what last week's story was about.
Yeah, my time and my energy that I put into things is just very precious.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yo, speaking of this, I have this person that I interact with almost on a daily basis, and I'm not gonna give any details.
It Nicole?
It's not Nicole. But I have this person that I interact with almost on a daily basis, right? And this person is pretty annoying, right? Pretty annoying. And they tend to ask questions that are like, you can get the answer from Google. Okay, such as a question such as, is California PST time?
Yeah, like, why are you asking me these questions? Just so I can Google it, man. I got you.
You know what I mean?
I got you.
So this person does that, right? Now, here's the thing. I need to throw a name. Tony, right? Tony stay asking stupid shit that is irrelevant, right? So he continues to do this shit, and now I'm at the point where I go, hey man, I don't fucking know. That's your job. That's the shit you're dealing with. I don't know,
bro.
Like,
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't have the energy to assist you.
You never gave him the need I say more line of, bro, hit a Google search on that.
I did Friday. I mean, just Thursday, whatever.
Yeah.
I literally hit him with I say, yo, I'm not sure, but you should definitely just Google search it to make sure, though. Like, why the fuck are you asking me? I'm not Jeeves, and I'm not Google. Don't ask me.
Is there a possibility he just wants to talk, and so these are the way he talks to you? He's asking.
High possibility. But guess what, Joe? I don't feel like fucking talking here.
Hey, man. That's life.
I'm in my zone. I'm doing what the fuck I'm trying to do right now. I don't feel like talking to you.
That's a frustrating thing if you somehow, whatever this person is, you come in contact with them a lot, but you don't want to deal with them. Like, the only thing you can do is be an asshole until hopefully they stop. But then you're kind of just being an asshole.
And then you're just being an asshole, right?
I had a guy at my last job
and I think I'm at the point where it's like, I'd rather just be an asshole. Like, I just rather be an asshole.
You rather be a asshole who doesn't have to deal with bullshit than a nice guy who does.
I'd rather just be the asshole. Like, I can be a polite asshole though. Like, and that's the thing. I'm learning to be a polite asshole.
Bro, that's kind of what the story was about last week when this lady was giving me shit. After like a few goes, I just said, okay. I turned around and started.
Asshole, bro.
He's just an asshole. I genuinely think you're so wrong about that. Like, if the situation reversed and I hit an old lady with my cart, followed her to the aisle, to the cashier, hit her again, you'd be like, dude, you wouldn't go, well, that lady's an asshole for going in front of you. You'd be like, bro, why would you hit her? So
it's a woman.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a woman. It doesn't matter if she's 60. None of that matters. It's a person and a person. A woman who is not crazy hit me with her cart, followed me to the cashier, hit me again. And you're going to go, I'm the asshole.
Well, we're not going to get into last week's topics.
That's because you're wrong about the situation.
I'm doing that.
I forgot what we were talking about. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just think I think I am, like I said, an equal opportunity asshole. I'm an asshole to everybody. I'm not gonna, oh, well, she's 60 years. No, fuck that. My fucking parents are almost in their 60s. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like it's okay to just hit someone with your cart.
Yeah, Joe, I got a random question though.
Yeah,
what's the most expensive thing you ever bought for a woman?
For a woman?
For a girl that you were with?
That's an interesting question. Probably something a couple $100. I think I bought something a couple hundred. I think I bought a purse for like 300, 400 once.
Okay, all right. Purse for 3-4
for just her individually. Like I paid for vacations, but that's not, I think, a together thing. No, like
just for her.
Well, no, for us together. Like if we both went on vacations, does that count?
Oh, you did a trip.
Well, yeah, like if one of the gifts was we're going to go and do this, like for a massage, it was also one of those, but we both got the massage, couples massage. That doesn't necessarily.
You did a selfish gift.
Well, no, I mean it's one of those things where you give multiple gifts.
Yeah.
So one of them was, oh, I got you a couples massage because she.
Oh, I got you a purse and I got you a massage and I got you a trip.
It's what generally I like to do. Out. Well, I mean, it wasn't exactly those gifts, but generally I like to give. I don't like to give one, like here's a huge. I like to give like a few kind of awesome gifts. Like one time there was a couples massage. I got her like AirPods.
Here you go with the perfect boyfriend shit. Here you go. Go ahead. Lay it out for them.
And then I just gave her $1,000.
Lay out the resume. I asked him a simple question. Here he goes with the perfect boyfriend. Here you go.
That's not how it's turned out. Listen, I'm a good boyfriend. I am also loaded, but I'm also ugly. So women, if you're listening, it's up to you. I'm not a sugar daddy though. Yeah, probably
sweet and low.
Realistically, for one gift that I've given a woman, probably a couple hundred was like the total I spent.
All right.
I guess if you combined it, maybe like
I thought about that because I'm like, obviously I plan on getting married. So when I started thinking about the ring, and I'm like, is that a gift? But I'm like, it's not really a gift. It's a forever thing.
It is, like, yeah. I don't.
It's gonna cost too. I was like, this will probably be the most expensive thing I've ever gotten for a woman.
There's a strong likelihood that might be the most expensive thing you ever buy
in life, right?
Unless you're talking about like a house, which is something you're paying.
Yeah. I read that. I read something like that
because it's supposed to be technically, and this is a kind of a more of a rule of thumb: 3 months of how much you make. Like of your salary, of your expense.
3 months of my salary.
Yeah, you make $1,000 a month. Hopefully you don't. $3,000 you just drop on this ring, and that again is a more of a, guidelines.
My salary, fuck out of here.
$45,000. No, but that's a rule of thumb. But it should be. You should realistically, because when you give this ring to her, not only going to symbolize what it symbolizes, she's going to be looking at that ring all the time. Okay. So it should hurt you to drop. It should be a lot. It should hurt. Yeah.
It should hurt you.
I think, dude, I think when you make that purchase, you should go, it's worth it because it's for her, but you're still going to be like, fuck.
God damn, hell no.
You just whipped out a calculator. All I see is Terrance on his phone. I'm like, what's Terrance up? He did a calculator.
God damn.
Hopefully Nicole doesn't listen to this podcast because she's gonna be like,
baby, I love you. Maybe you know what? Based upon that math, if you're saying 3 months of like my salary or whatever,
it's like Kobe get like a $4 million ring.
Kobe about to spend 150 M's.
Oh my God.
That's what it was.
That's what it's supposed to be, but it should be a lot.
Man. I would say a month and a half.
Have you been looking at rings? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I've been looking.
Are you and Corey picking out an engagement ring together?
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if I like that idea. I understand. I don't want
to mess up. There's so many different ring cuts and styles and things like that. I don't want to mess up. So I rather she know, right. Even if she gives me like, hey, here's my top 3, and I'm
something like that at least.
I'm able to pick out of the top 3.
But also, that's
where we're at. Yeah, that's where we're at. We're going through the process of.
So when you get to the point and you go, and she goes, "This is what I want," and you go, "Okay, what you then still have to like surprise her with it. You can't be like, all right,
Absolutely.
and then a week or two
Then-
later,
then
you have to figure out a
comes-
way to throw her off the scent.
Then comes, and the crazy thing is, like I was talking to her mom about it too. Then comes the process of the moment. Now
But
I
you
have
gotta try to throw her off the scent. Like
I
you
got
plan
it
a
right.
big night, but then you don't do it that night.
I have to create the moment. So how do I create the moment where it's not obvious?
Terrance, I told you like the last year, I'm like, me and you need to get together and plan this out and come up with something bomb. But you don't.
Well,
wanna
no,
listen
no,
to
no.
me. What do you mean, nah?
I think
I
in
help
all
you out.
reality, I think I probably want you to record it.
I come over.
I think I want you to record
I can do
the process of me going for the ring, kind of like a documentary
I
style,
love the idea of doing
kind of,
that.
you know,
But we
going
just never see each
going
other.
for the ring, picking it out, the conversation.
When you
or
go
whatever,
buy it, tell
know?
me and I'll come with you and I'll document
Yeah,
that
yeah. I
part
want.
and
No,
I'll
I'm,
put
I'm
it all
telling
together.
you, like this is my idea because she's not obviously not going to see any of this and
Right.
know.
Later.
Right.
We'll play it at the wedding.
So yeah, you know,
Little
I
mini
kind of
doc.
want it to be like a little highlight reel
Dude,
kind of shit
with
like
all the
you know
editing
what
I
mean?
do now and stuff. Like I've gotten more. I edited the show, but also I've edited some other friends, like some stuff. I would be down to do this, but you have
This is the
tell me
idea.
these things, so I show up.
I like this idea. I've had it in my head for a little bit, and I think this would be dope. You know, and a fucking iPhone. Yo, what iPhone do you have?
I got it. I got mine like a little over a year ago. So whatever that
Did you-
newest model was, I got it at the end of
I got the
2020.
12. I got the
I don't know.
12.
I don't know what model. What model came out in 2020? September 2020.
I have no idea. Honestly, I have no idea. But I have the
Can't keep track of it
12.
anymore.
And the camera's dope. And then I saw the 13, and they have like the cinematic mode on the iPhone 13, where it has focus view on the person that's in front, and like basically, you like if you're really into filming, obviously, and I know you are.
I have the iPhone 13. Well, no, I think I have the iPhone 12. I think I have the 12 like you do.
12, yeah, okay.
So, sorry.
So these phones are super powerful though for like recording shit.
Bro, Steven Soderbergh filmed a movie that came out last year on his iPhone 8. You know what I mean? He loves doing shit like that,
bro. Like
not even the
it's
most
crazy.
recent iPhone. He filmed it on
Because
an 8.
I was like, damn, like I gotta hire somebody to record and shit like that. But then I thought about it. I was like, you know what?
It's an iPhone 12.
Joe lives for this shit. Like he knows the angles and shit like that or whatever. Like, you know, like we could just walk around the city all day and he just record and shit and we just go at it, you know, like that's it, you know. So that's what I'm thinking. Would
Corey be the type of young woman who would be okay where if you disappointed her in some way and then later on that day you then popped it, so she thinks it's just out of nowhere, like you somehow, I don't know what it would be, but you make it seem like, well, fuck, this bad thing happened and she thinks it's bad news, and then no,
she is a,
does she want to kind of know it's going to happen?
She gets panic attacks and she is a crier. She's a crier
for good things. She cries.
Good and bad.
Right.
My phone died while we were on the phone talking.
Oh no! You like, oh my god!
My phone died while we were on the phone talking. I was driving home, right, and my phone just died. And I called her once I charged it up enough.
How long was there in between?
Probably like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. When I called her, she was bawling in tears. I thought something happened to you.
Terrance, you gotta like tell her, hey, my phone is on this.
I was like, I said, look, babe, I'm okay. Look, I'm alive.
You are a black man driving around, Terrance. She just assumed it's on her.
I said I'm alive. Right? She was like, I just didn't know that you weren't answering your phone. Like,
as part of you,
literally was like bawling in tears. It was hilarious.
As part of you, as sad as that is, as part of you go, oh, Shirley loves me, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, selfish, but that's how. Yeah,
definitely. I had that moment of like, she really does love me. Really does care.
Terrance, man, listen, you're a black man driving around this world. She's gonna assume the worst, and to be fair, not the worst idea on her part. I mean,
no, absolutely.
We've been in the car. We
Absolutely.
talked about this. In fact, it's not today, but at some point we do have to go over the story of when the cops illegally pulled you over with me and
That was
it's for your
like
young son's
August 10th, like
2017. 2016.
No.
16.
2016.
It was 2016. Yeah,
Probably
I remember,
2016. Yeah,
I remember who I was
probably
dating at the
2016.
time is how I figured that out.
Yeah, 2016. Yeah.
Which is coming up on 6 years, by the way, in August.
Yikes.
Fuck.
Yikes. It was a crazy moment, though. Crazy moment.
It was. That's a good. We'll come up with a topic for that and go over that. That's a crazy story.
Crazy moment.
All right, Terrance, we've been going pretty
get a
long.
cop on a show for that.
Susie berate them for how much they suck. But we've gone pretty long as we intended to do.
You're your fucking partners.
Fucking hate you. All cops suck. I thought you said no. We lied about that. All cops suck.
All cops suck.
We lied. But Terrance, we of course end every show with a hypothetical. So, Terrance, I was reading a story in the New York Times a few weeks ago, and about this island. I think it's off the coast somewhere in the UK, somewhere capacity. It's called the Isle of Rum. And despite that, there are no bars. But on this tiny little island, there's only a population. There's a population of like 13 people.
13.
Year round. And it actually recently doubled because they put out a thing to try to get more people there. Now it's up to like 28 people, which is a big deal for that island. But basically, the island literally has one restaurant that's only open during the summer. There's no bar, and there's just really not a lot going on there, right? But people who all live there all work and they do their thing there. And you obviously work. They have fantastic Wi-Fi because there's 28 people in the fucking place. So they got one installed and now they have Wi-Fi.
Everybody works remotely.
Well, some people work remotely, but obviously there's things that need to be done on the island to keep things going, like importing, it's not that far away from anything, but it's far enough away to where there needs to be people bringing in food and doing X, Y, and Z. So I question you, Terrance, is would you, and let's assume maybe you're just single, just make it easier for this equation. Would you be cool with living on an island like that? Like,
yes.
Is there a piece to that? It doesn't have to be off of the coast of, it could be, because you said you love the tropics, right? Jamaica and all that. Would you be cool? Because remember, I don't know if you know this or not, Ian Fleming, who wrote James Bond, GoldenEye, the game and everything, that he was living in Jamaica at the time. I think the place he lived was called GoldenEye, which where they came up with that. So would you like to live in just remote, quiet, there's no craziness, and you're there?
1,000%.
Really?
Yes. I would truly enjoy that, right? Because it's just
it'd be boring.
I'm not bored by being in peace and being at peace and being kind of in a content. I'm not bored by that anymore. I think I hate sounding like a fucking old hag.
Well, we're old men.
But in my younger years, I probably would have said, I need excitement. I need something going on, But then when I realized that you create that, like I was telling you earlier, like I want to get stage lights, I want to create you create what you want. Like, so essentially, if I don't want to be bored, I can create my entertainment. I can have that for myself. So yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And if anything goes wrong and somebody steals some shit, it's one of y'all 20 motherfuckers because there ain't nobody else on this bitch. All right.
That's true. But you know what it is, man? You know what it is with me that I think about? I would love the peace and the tranquility and listen, the last 2 years has been COVID, man. I've been in this room for most of that, right? So being just here, if I have Wi-Fi, I would be content, right? I have books, I have YouTube and Netflix and video games. All that's good. So that's not really an issue. But I do think like after a bit, you'd be like, this is it. Like I've been kind of bored just living at home like this. But at least I live in New York City. So I can, now that things are picking up, I can go places. But there's no restaurants to go to, Terrance. You can't order Chinese food, no pizzas. You know what I mean? It's just that. So I feel like I would be fine. Food would be
fresh when you cook it, though.
I would be fine with living in that tranquility if you told me, oh, you could do that, but if you drive for like 45 minutes to an hour, you get to like a big New York City's there, fucking London's there. I'd be cool with that. I don't know if I'd be completely good off the map. That's just me though. If you're cool with it, you go live in Goldeneye.
Yeah, I think I'm good off the map, man. Like it's
Go live in
just
Goldeneye, man.
you got access to the internet, and you got access to the world.
That's true. That's what I'm saying. Once you have the Wi-Fi is there. I mean, so.
And then you got no need.
But isn't that crazy? The whole GoldenEye thing. It's in Jamaica. Like that's where that came from. That Ian Fleming was living in. I think because the British owned Jamaica at one point, right? And that's why he called it that, because that's the name of the place he lived in. Crazy. How beautiful is Jamaica, Terrance? What would you say? Beautiful.
Beautiful. Jamaica's amazing. Amazing. I recommend everyone to visit Jamaica sometime in their life.
Would I be okay to go there, or would I need you there with me?
They would love you.
I wouldn't get robbed.
They would definitely want to take advantage of you.
Yeah, well, that's not really what I'm looking for though. I don't want to be taken advantage of, Terrance. Like
they would love you. You're a tourist. You're a white guy in Jamaica. You're a tourist.
So you're saying I should go there, even though you're also saying they'll take advantage of me.
They would take advantage of me in Jamaica. Like they know I'm not living there. Like
so then why do I want to go? I don't want to go anywhere I'm taking advantage of.
It's just Jamaica. You're
not selling me. I'll tell you that much right now, dog.
But it's a beautiful look. The island is just beautiful.
I can look up pictures of beautiful.
It's beautiful. Beautiful island.
But Terrance, that brings us to the end of this. So this is our anniversary episode. It wasn't what we wanted to be, but it was still a lot of fun. But after this, Terrance, we start season 2. Season 2, episode 1 starts next week. It's exciting. I think we're working on some stuff to not change the show in any major way, but you might see some subtle changes here and there. But yeah. So thanks for listening to our year anniversary episode. We'll see if we can get a proper one at some point. Maybe we'll do. We wanted to meet in person, so maybe me and Terrance will end up doing that at some point.
Yeah.
The same day Terrance brings me to an
literally it was supposed to happen today, but
the snowstorm,
weather.
But the day Terrance brings me to a Nets game is the day that'll happen. So never.
This guy.
But anyway, that brings me to the end. Terrance, you got anything else?
No, I got nothing else. Definitely was a lot of fun to do a little extra overtime for this episode.
Are you watching a game that's in overtime right now?
No. Sadly,
I can see your eyes looking up. So
sadly, the Lakers allowed Westbrook to take the last shot, and you can know
always a good choice.
You know how that went.
Oh, Westbrook, you dumb
man! I feel bad. I feel bad for LeBron. Honestly, I do. Honestly, he deserves better. In his last year,
listen, man, he had something to do with that trade for him. It's not like they did that without his notice.
And here's the thing:
stupid trade.
He's regretting it.
Yeah,
he's regretting it,
bro.
It's like when you try to be good to your friends. It's like, yo, that's my boy. I gotta look out for him, and it's like, fuck, I should have just left you where you was at.
I said from the get he was a terrible fit. Like they don't honestly,
man, if left you over
if
there.
They would have gotten like Bradley Beal or Damian Lillard, like those would be better fits. But a guy who needs to have the ball in his hands 100% of the time to be effective is not a good fit for LeBron James. I don't care how old he is. Also, is it just me or are you disappointed with Anthony Davis? Ever since he's been to the Lakers, I thought he was gonna ascend and be like not a better player.
He's content.
He's completely content with being like number 2. I think LeBron wanted him to be like, I'm gonna hand the mantle for you to be you to really take like the offensive load and everything. And he
got that ring and he's content.
Yeah, like
it shows.
It's not that he's not playing well. It's just I think he's underachieving. I thought this guy would be like dominating with a guy like LeBron, and he's playing very well, but very well is just very well. You know what I mean? Like
Anthony Davis could have been a number 2 player in the league.
Yeah, he should have been in MVP conversations, but
number
not
2,
once.
probably number 3, because Jokic is like going crazy.
But, you know what I'm saying? Like with the I thought he'd be like an MVP conversation the last, ever since he got to the Lakers, and not once has he been anywhere close to that. You know what I mean? Like no one's ever going, oh, well, like he's playing a good second fiddle. It's not like he's not. It's just like, I don't know, man. He disappointed me. He really did.
Yeah.
But anyway.
No.
That's our NBA. That's a little backcourt preview for you.
A little bit. I got nothing else. This has been fun being here for this long. So we appreciate you for being here for this long, because we definitely understand that you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that. Need I say more?